Hi everyone, here Sim9Motion and you're watching Next Step Agency. So in this video we're gonna create a e-commerce website by using React. So I'm using here Byte. It's a popular tool to make a React project. Okay, so let's get started. So in this project I'm using Byte and Tailwind CSS. Okay, so let's get started with Byte. And if we scroll down and we can see a command to create a Byte project by using npm. So copy this command and paste it on our terminal and hit enter. So we have to give a name, so e-commerce. All done. So I'm using React and I'm using this and just cd e-commerce and npm install. So our project has set up. Let's open on our code editor. So dot. Well done. Let's open our terminal. Let's use Tailwind CSS. Let's go Tailwind CSS official website and click on Get Start. So for using Tailwind CSS with our Byte project, let's create framework guides and Byte. So here are some comments to use Tailwind CSS with our Byte project. So just copy the command and paste it on our terminal. So Tailwind CSS had installed on our project. Now we have to initial the Tailwind CSS on our project. For that, copy the command and paste it on our terminal. Now we have to copy the code and we have to paste it on our tailwind config.js file. Paste it on here. Now we have to copy this code and we have to paste it on our main CSS file. So our main CSS file is index.css. Select it and paste it. All done. So now let's start our project using npm run dev and hit enter. Our project has started. Let's open on our browser by clicking on this link. So well done, we have successfully start our project. So let's start coding to make an e-commerce website. So at first app.css, we don't need it file, so just delete it. We don't need app.jsx file, delete it. So in this project we're gonna use React Router DOM. So let's install our React Router DOM and I'm new and install React Router DOM. So terminal, paste it. So now we are ready to use React Router DOM and copy this code and paste it on here. So we don't need app.jsx file. So we have to input the router provider from React Router. So on the SRC folder, let's create another folder whose name is router. And on the router, let's create another file which is called router.jsx. So on router, let's create our router. So let's input the create browser router. Import from React Router DOM. Let's input from here. Let's export the router from here. Export default and router. So let's input router. Well done and refresh it. So we can see the hello world on our project. So on our SRC folder, let's create another folder which called is pages. So on the pages folder, we will create our every pages on here. So let's create home, and on the home folder we will create a file which called is home.jsx. Okay, so I'm using here functional component. So RFC is the shortcut to make a functional component. before using home, let's create another component which will contain our whole website. So it's called layout. So on the src folder, let's create another folder which called is layout, and on the layout folder we will create a file which called is main.jsx. So on the main.jsx file, let's create a functional component by using RFC, the shortcut. On the fragment, let's use our outlet from React Router DOM. For using outlet, let's input from React Router DOM, and let's input outlet from React Router DOM outlet, and let's use on our main.jsx outlet. So why the outlet? So the outlet will contain our all pages on our main layout. Okay, so that's what I am using here, outlet. And instead of hello world, I am using here our main.js component, main from layout main. Alright, so under the main layout we can use children to make different router. Okay, so for that, here's a property which called is children, and on the children we can pass a array, and on the array we can make our router. So path, it will be the home page, and on the home page I am rendering an element which called is home.jsx. For that, element home.jsx. So now our home route has set up. So now let's start to create our home page. Well done. So I'm using fragment here. So on the home we will use different section. For that, I am creating a component folder here on our home page folder. So components, on the component folder we can create a file which called is hero.jsx. Okay, so on the hero.jsx I will create the hero section on this component.